Right now, as you watch this, your brain is quietly forgetting something. Not because it's broken, because forgetting is its job. In the next hour, you'll lose about half of everything you just learned. By tomorrow, most of it will be gone. By next month, only a tiny piece will be left. Now here's the strange part. The way most people try to stop this, the way you were probably taught to study, barely works at all. And some of the methods that feel the most productive, they're secretly the worst ones on the list. So today, our detective is opening a single case. How do you actually make something stick? We're going to rank 9 ways to study, from the absolute worst all the way to the single best. And by the time we reach number 1, you'll understand something surprising. The students who ace every test usually aren't smarter than you. They just quietly stop studying the wrong way. Let's investigate. Before we rank anything, we have to meet the villain of this whole story. And the villain isn't laziness, it's forgetting itself. Over 100 years ago, a scientist named Hermann Ebbinghaus decided to measure it. He memorized long lists of nonsense words, then tested himself again and again as time passed. What he discovered became one of the most famous findings in all of psychology. It's called the forgetting curve. Picture a line on a graph. It starts up high, right after you learn something. Then it falls. Fast. Within about an hour, roughly half of it is already gone. Within a day, around 70% has slipped away. Within a month, close to 80% has vanished. Think of fresh footprints on a beach. The moment you make them, the tide starts creeping in to wash them away. Your memories are those footprints. Forgetting is the tide. And here's the part that stings. This happens whether you studied for 5 minutes or 5 hours. Effort alone won't save you. Only the right kind of effort will. So every single study method is really just an answer to one question. How well does it fight the tide? Some barely slow it down. A few can almost stop it completely. Let's put all 9 on trial, and we're starting with the worst. Number 9. The worst method of them all. Rereading your notes. This is the one almost everybody does. You read the page, you reach the bottom, then you go back to the top and read it again. It feels calm, it feels smart, it feels like progress. But watch our memory meter, it barely moves. Here's the hidden reason why. The second time you read something, the words look familiar. And your brain does something sneaky. It mistakes that familiar feeling for real knowing. Scientists have a name for this trap, the fluency illusion. Fluency just means something feels smooth and easy, and your brain assumes that easy means learned. But it doesn't. Here's a way to feel it yourself. Think of a song you've heard 100 times. If it came on right now, you'd recognize it in a second. But could you sing every word, alone, with the music off? Probably not even close. Recognizing something is easy. Remembering it is hard. It's the difference between knowing a face and remembering a name. One shows up on its own, the other one you have to go and find. And rereading only ever trains the easy one. That's why it feels wonderful and teaches almost nothing. Dead last. Number 8. Highlighting. Out comes the bright yellow marker, and within a few minutes, half the page is glowing. It looks productive. It feels like you're hunting down the important parts. But highlighting hides a serious problem. Painting a sentence yellow does not move it into your memory. Your hand is busy, your eyes are busy, but your brain is barely awake. And there's a twist that makes it worse. When you highlight almost everything, nothing stands out anymore. A page that's all yellow is really just a page with no map. On our meter, highlighting crawls just past rereading. The page looks studied, your memory still isn't. And notice the pattern that's starting to form. The methods at the bottom all share one thing. They feel easy. So keep this rule in your pocket. If studying feels smooth and comfortable, be suspicious. Number 7. Copying your notes word for word. This one feels serious. It's slow. It fills whole pages with neat handwriting. Surely all that effort must count for something. But copying is just moving words from one page to another. Your eyes read a line, your hand writes it down, and your memory sits on the bench the whole time. You never had to think, you only had to trace. That's why you can copy an entire chapter and an hour later remember shockingly little of it. The meter twitches, then stalls. Neat notes are not the same thing as a strong memory. Beautiful handwriting has fooled a lot of students the night before a test. Number 6. Cramming the night before. And here's a surprise. This one actually works, for about a day. You stay up late, you pour everything in at once, coffee, panic, and a ticking clock. And the next morning, amazingly, a lot of it is still there. So why is it stuck way down at number 6? Because cramming builds a memory made of sand. Remember the forgetting curve? Cramming loads you all the way up to the top of it, right before the steepest drop. You walk into the test, and the knowledge is already fading in real time. You might catch it just in time, but a week later, it's almost completely gone. Nothing was built to last. There is an opposite of cramming, spreading your learning out across many days. And that method is sitting near the very top of this list. We'll get there soon. For now, just know what cramming really is. It trades your future memory for a quick score today. Sometimes you genuinely need that score. Just never confuse it with real learning. Number 5. Writing summaries. Finally, we're climbing into better territory. Summarizing means taking what you read and shrinking it down into your own words. And that little phrase, your own words, matters a lot. Because to do it, you have to actually think. You have to decide what's important and what to throw away. That's real mental work, and the meter lifts to the middle to prove it. Here's the quiet power in it. You can't shrink an idea you don't understand. So the simple act of shrinking it forces a little understanding out of you. But summarizing has a weakness. It depends entirely on how you do it. A lazy summary is just copying with a few words removed. That barely helps. And even a good summary has a blind spot. You can write a beautiful one while staring at the book the entire time, which means your memory never actually got tested. You were just reorganizing the answer key. So summarizing is a real step up, but it's still standing on shaky ground. We can do much better. And this is where the whole case turns. Stop for a second, because everything is about to flip. Look back at the bottom of our list. Rereading, highlighting, copying. Every single one of them felt easy. And that, it turns out, was the problem all along. Because real learning follows a strange and almost unfair rule. If studying feels a little hard, it's usually working. If it feels smooth and pleasant, it usually isn't. Scientists call this desirable difficulty, a difficulty you actually want, a struggle that builds something. Hold on to that idea, because every method from here to the top is going to feel harder and work far better. Number 4. Explaining an idea in your own words, out loud. This is where you close the notes and start teaching the empty room. You take one idea and you ask it a powerful question. Why is this true? Then you try to answer, in plain language, as if a curious friend just asked you. Little kids do this all day with a single word. Why? 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 It's a bit annoying. It's also one of the most powerful learning tools ever invented. And here's what happens when you do it. The moment you try to explain something, you find the holes. The parts you thought you understood suddenly go quiet. That silence is a gift. It's showing you exactly what you don't know yet. Rereading hides your weak spots. Explaining drags them into the light. The meter jumps up. We're halfway up the ladder now, so look back at how far we've come. At the bottom sat the comfortable methods. Reread, highlight, copy, cram, summarize. All the ones that feel busy but leave your memory nearly empty. From here up, the climb gets steeper and the payoff gets much bigger. Number 3, mixing your practice up. This one has a strange name, interleaving. Most people study in neat blocks, all of topic A, then all of topic B, then all of topic C. It feels tidy and organized. Interleaving does the opposite. You mix the topics together. A bit of A, then C, then back to B, then A again, jumbled on purpose. It feels messier, you make more mistakes, it's slower. And that discomfort is exactly why it works. When the topics are mixed, your brain can't just switch to autopilot. Every question forces it to stop and ask, wait, which kind of problem is this one? That extra decision is a tiny struggle, and that struggle builds sharper, more flexible memory. Think of a boxer who only ever practices one punch, over and over. In the gym, he looks perfect, but in a real fight, the punches come mixed and unpredictable, and he freezes. Interleaving is training for the real fight. The meter climbs higher. Number 2, spacing your studying out over time. This is one of our 2 champions, and it's built on a beautiful trick. Instead of one giant study session, you break your learning into smaller pieces, spread across several days. Now, remember Ebbinghaus and his forgetting curve. Here's the magic. Every time you review something right as you're about to forget it, you reset that curve. But it doesn't just reset, it comes back flatter. You start forgetting more slowly. Review again, and it flattens even more. Do this a handful of times, spaced out over days, and the memory almost stops fading at all. Compare it to cramming. Cramming is like dumping a whole bucket of water on a plant once, then walking away for a week. Most of it just runs off the sides. Spacing is like giving that plant a little water every day. One method drowns it, the other one grows it. And here's the wild part, it's the same total study time, you just spread it out. Same hours, same notes, same you. The only thing that changed was when you studied, not how long. And it flips your results completely. The meter is almost at the top now, just one rung left. Number 1. The single most powerful way to study, active recall. And it's almost funny how simple it is. Close the book, look away from your notes, and force yourself to pull the answer out of your own head. No peeking, no rereading, just the raw, honest act of trying to remember. This is the exact opposite of everything at the bottom of our list. Rereading pushes information in, active recall drags it back out. And it turns out the pulling is the entire secret. Picture a bucket at the bottom of a deep well. Every single time you haul that bucket up, the rope gets a little stronger. Every time you test yourself and pull a memory up, the path back to it gets easier to find. This is why flashcards feel a bit painful and work so incredibly well. That struggle to remember isn't a sign that it's failing. The struggle is the learning. That's the whole point. And now for the secret weapon. Take our top 2 methods and combine them. Test yourself with active recall and space those tests out over days. That combination even has a name you've probably heard. Spaced repetition. It's the quiet engine humming inside every good flashcard app on the planet. The meter hits the very top and locks into place. Case closed. So let's step back and look at what our detective actually uncovered. Every weak method at the bottom shared one hidden trait. They all let your brain stay comfortable. You looked, you recognized, you felt sure, and you learned almost nothing. Every strong method at the top did the exact opposite. They forced your brain to work. Pull the answer out, space it apart, mix it up, explain it, struggle, just a little. And that's the entire secret of this case. Learning was never about how many hours you sit near a book. It's about how hard your brain is working while you're there. Comfort feels like studying. Effort actually is studying. And this finally explains something that used to look like magic. Those students who seem to remember everything without trying. Most of them weren't born with a better brain. They simply stumbled onto the hard methods, the ones that truly fight the forgetting curve, while everyone around them kept happily highlighting and rereading. It was never about talent. It was about method. Which means this isn't a secret saved for gifted people. It's a skill, and you just learned it. So let's climb the whole ladder one last time, fast. Rung 9, rereading. 8, highlighting. 7, copying. 6, cramming. 5, summarizing. 4, explaining it out loud. 3, interleaving. 2, spacing it out. And number 1, active recall. The higher you climb, the harder it feels, and the more it works. So here's your challenge for tonight. Stop rereading the same page over and over. Close the book sooner than feels comfortable. Ask yourself questions and answer them from memory, even when it's hard. Then come back and do it again in a few days. It's going to feel worse than highlighting ever did. You'll make mistakes. You'll want to peek. You'll feel unsure. Good. That discomfort is the actual sound of a memory being built. Your brain was always going to forget. That part was never your fault. But now you know the one trick the forgetting curve was hoping you'd never learn. Don't just study harder. Study like the tide is coming in. Case closed.